All right, what up, everybody? We're back. We're going to go ahead and break down a short film that we did called Knuckles. This is one of my favorite joints. Knuckles is an urban legend between me and the homies from way back in the day. Yeah. And it was actually kind of exciting to bring this one to fruition. And like Mike Santana, the director of that one, just kind of gave us the perfect vision. I'm not going to lie. I had an idea for this, and Mike really got this nailed or whatever. So let's talk about Knuckles a little bit. Thanks, Mike, for joining me on this one.
For sure.
All right, so I remember Knuckles came out. I was telling you I wanted to do a short film, but it was supposed to be a minute only, right? I was like, I want to do this 1 minute Instagram only short film about a guy who goes around collecting money.
Right.
What was your thoughts on that one?
I just knew we couldn't do a minute.
Yeah. That was his first thought. He's like, no, not a minute. Yeah,
not a minute.
So I'm gonna give everybody a little background of the story of Knuckles. So when me and my friends, were younger, back when before I had all the gray hair in my beard. We would sit there and make jokes like, if you loan somebody $5 for bagging food, it costs $5-10. Hey, lend me $5. All right, man, I'm gonna give you $5-10, but if you don't pay me by tomorrow, Knuckles is gonna mess you up. And it was an inside joke between all of us, whatever. Like Knuckles is gonna beat you down. Yeah. Fast forward, I'm talking to one of my little youngsters. I'm kind of like giving him some game on how to like do stocks and whatever and this and that. And I tell him that I was like, hey man, I'm gonna give you this little game, but if you don't mess around, man, Knuckles is gonna come, beat you up and stuff. And he's like, Knuckles, what are you talking about? So I tell him the whole thing.
Right. He's
like, you should make that a film. I'm like, yeah. I thought about it, like, yeah, you know what? That's kind of interesting, whatever. Right. So then I bring it to you. I tell you, okay, I want to do this thing with Knuckles. I'll tell you the story, whatever. And I didn't think you were gonna go for it at first. I'm not gonna lie. I went there. I was like, all right, it's not because I didn't think it was in your wheelhouse. I didn't think it was something that it's not that type of film that you whatever. Surprisingly enough, give me your thoughts on when you tell you that.
No, that was a time. I think it was in February we shot that. It was just I liked the concept, and I thought Knuckle Vision would be dope. And we had the GoPro, I thought we could build on it. We had the actors who we were thinking we could do.
We could bring in there.
So no, I was actually hyped up about doing that stuff.
So I thought it was pretty interesting because you said Knuckles Vision, so we had to figure out. There's in the movie, like it's in the short film, you're kind of seeing through the eyes of Knuckles, and it's even a whole like you had the idea of making Knuckles' vision a different tint of everybody else's vision. Mm-hmm. Well, how did you come up with something like that? Because that was pretty creative.
Well, because you said he wasn't going to talk, right? So we got to identify him somehow, and I just thought, well, what about if he's not going to talk? We're not going to hear him audio wise, so let's visually see his POV of everything.
Right.
So that was the concept.
I thought that was pretty interesting because you thought like he doesn't say anything, whatever. Right. But what do you think of that after we film it, whatever? It's actually kind of an interesting, I guess, I don't know, tell of the story, right? Because even though he doesn't talk, he's very prominent.
Body language, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's very prominent in the movie. You definitely, it's not like he's chump or nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
He's just whatever. So that concept, what is the, because we didn't shoot everything on because this is when you upgraded your cameras as well, right?
Right.
So we're shooting in 4K, first one in 4K. And Knuckles isn't shot on that, right? He's not shot on those cameers.
He's
shot with GoPro.
With the GoPro, which I don't know if your GoPro is 4K. Yeah.
It's 4K.
So we shot, you see Knuckles like in the background and stuff. That's shot on the 4K. But as far as, you're right, his POV, no. I thought it was dope to have his POV because you can really tell it's him. Especially shout out Dallas too. Yeah. When he was in the car with Dallas, you know what I mean? That was Dallas a little freaky.
Really sold that character. Like, literally, I got a shout out my man Dallas, especially shout out for the beat too, Dallas. Love you on that one. But the way, the startlement, the willingness to get in the pool, what I mean? Like,
the pool, man.
It's like he really... And he really gives the story a good, you know what I mean? Yes. Right off, it just gives you right in the gut,
Didn't
really,
complain about nothing, man. Shout out Urge too, and using his house and everything, but that was great.
So as far as creating a first person POV movie, what is your thoughts on that type of filmmaking? Like, because it's kind of a POV. What's your thoughts on that?
If it picks its spots, it's cool. I don't like too much of that.
Yeah,
but if it picks its spots.
Yeah, we didn't use it too much. It wasn't. To me, the POV was kind of a character as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everything is still shot.
Right.
Normal.
Right.
Except for his view.
Yeah, exactly. So like for movies, I don't like to see it too much in movies, but for Knuckles, I think it needed to be there. And another example too, shout out Vince again. His foot was really broken, right?
Right.
So we used that.
You're right.
So that was real. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Vince did have the broken foot, and it looked because you see him hobbling around, whatever. Before we shot Knuckles, we actually met up many times before that, right? So I remember we actually sat there. I have testing the GoPro footage of us talking about it.
Yeah.
How whatever. Do you think that pre-prep helped make the film?
Yeah, I love doing that stuff.
Yeah,
I love sitting talking about stuff for hours. What would this guy do? What would he think? And how are we gonna do it? Oh yeah, we talk on the phone a lot too, man. Yeah.
You're just breaking down certain characteristics of how even before the shoot, like you said, before the shoot will come up. Well, hey, what do you think about such and such a thing?
Right.
Hey, you know what? I think this part of the story could whatever. Or you like, no, that might not work. Like I think the balancing that out really helps get the flow of the movie down.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, because I don't do a lot of script rewrite type of stuff, whatever. So I think sometimes, maybe that will help a little bit. That's
another example too. That whole thing we couldn't shoot the pool or anything on the side of the house. Shout out Amari too, but your son for being in it. But we couldn't do any of that with the real sound out there.
Right. That's true.
So.
What was your biggest disappointment in shooting Knuckles? Was there any disappointments at all? Because we shot that in a day.
Yeah, probably just the rush on it. But that's just what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I think I got a chance to because I worked with Urge before on Under the Underground. So I think given a chance to watch Urge and Ed work together was kind of fun for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, that was
Urge is really dope, and Ed's really dope.
Right, but disappointment wise, I don't really had.
I didn't have any disappointments on it.
Yeah, that was a question, right? Disappointment.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I thought it was great because that was supposed to be a minute for me. So for me, it was supposed to be 1 minute. Yeah, I was going to tell that whole story quick. You know what I mean?
We got it in 11 minutes, right?
Yeah, I think it's 11 minutes or so on that one.
We did the photo shoot scene, which was another layer, in a warehouse photo shoot, so. And
brought in Mia. Mia came through, and I think her reaction to Knuckles kind of sells Knuckles a little bit.
Right.
I think where you shot it as well. So even talk about that. There's a part where Knuckles stands in the hallway.
Right.
Because like I said, in the movie, you see through Knuckles, but you do see Knuckles in the movie.
Right.
Like, it's not like whatever you do see him. What was the way? Because that's kind of an intimidating, like whatever. Urge does this thing, and then you see Knuckles, but you don't see him, but you just see the glimpse of him. How did you come up with that idea?
Right. I just thought he could be a presence, but doesn't have to be a detailed presence. So even his POV, his footage, is not as crispy as the regular cameras, right? So I thought, let's use him in the background. We see him, but we don't. We do, but we don't. So I thought that would be a cool way to show him his presence there.
And you literally only see the whole movie is just.
And it's also a metaphor too, because it's, hey, if you don't pay me, the next part of the story is Knuckles. So Urge is trying to get the money from Vince. And behind him, the next chapter is Knuckles.
And another reason this is one of my favorite films, because my son got to work in it. So I was a little nervous about working with my son, right? So I'm telling my son the whole time, I want you to do this Knuckles part.
Right.
Months and months, I'm letting him know, or about 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, I want you to do this, whatever. So my son just,
Right.
Okay. He gets out here. I'm like, all right, man, I need you to get whatever.
Yeah.
Then he gets on whatever and kind of kills it a little bit, right?
I forgot what he told him, like, fuck you mean, or something like that. He said, I forgot what it was.
I got your fucking money.
Something like that.
Whatever. But the way his demeanor, his whatever. Yeah. What do you think about when you work with? Like, for me, like I said, it's because of my son. But when you work with somebody and they're kind of outshining, or they're just kind of bringing just more than you thought to that character while you're filming, like how do you shoot that and make sure you don't miss that? I guess that element. And what does it make you feel?
No, it's great to see that. It's great to see that, especially from a youngster I'm taking this from Denzel. Denzel and Russell Crowe were being interviewed about American Gangster, and the interviewer was like, were you nervous because you wanted to be better than Russell on the take? And Denzel said, no, you want everybody to be good. You don't want to be, you don't want to steal a scene, right? I mean, do you think about that?
Right.
Why would you want to really steal a scene? Because then everything's not even keeled.
That's true. Everybody's playing beneath you.
You want to kill it.
So if everybody's killing it, then that scene's really going to draw you in.
Right. We can have our opinions on who was better in a scene. That's fine. But I get it. For an actor to want to be. I'm gonna outshine Brian in the scene. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Heat. You know, with De Niro and Pacino in the cafe.
Right.
You know, that was, I don't know how many takes that was. I think it was over 20, but they used take 11, all of take 11. Both cameras of take 11. They shot a wide, but they didn't use the wide. Here I go getting crazy about Heat, but
that's okay. Yeah, that's good.
They kept the energy from take 11 on both cameras because they didn't want to go take 11 and grab take 18 for the reverse. It's a different energy. You know what I mean? So I was glad that all worked out because even when Amari got snatched up, you bought it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought
he's kind of being a punk kid too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought Urge and Amari and Knuckles there did well together.
I thought the chemistry was more than I expected. I didn't expect my son and then Urge's reaction to him, like, cause I think Urge sells a lot of that, you know, because my son's being a punk kid, you know. Then Urge just reacted to him being a punk kid, like, you know, like, I don't really want to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? Urge played it well. He played it like a grown up in that scene where it wasn't like, man, I'm gonna f you up, man. It was just like,
like, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, kid. Just, you know, why are you being like this right now?
I thought he played that well. I don't know if that's what you intended him to do, but it came out well.
No, I thought they did well. I love working with Urge in there. Yeah. So on the same thing, like kind of when we did Knuckles, I've always got like visions of how to do things like a little bit. So I'm always like, okay, we can. For all the extra footage, like we can pull all the extra footage out and make a music video. I think that's what I was telling you. I was like, we can, you know, any footage that hits the floor, we can make a music video. Me and Urge rapped on it.
Yeah.
What do you think about doing like stuff like that, using actual just, you know, leftover stuff, or maybe even like recreating something out of the footage that's not going to be used, or even footage that is going to be used?
No, it's great to have a music video. Yeah. If you don't, you know, it's like a trailer or something.
Right.
So I was glad we were able to do that. And shout out Urge again. I mean, that guy, we talked about it. I don't know how. I mean, that's like the hardest working dude I know. He'll do double shifts, dude, and then go do his thing. And even when we were doing Knuckles, he was busy as hell.
Getting off work, coming straight to Knuckles, whatever.
And so, yeah, he inspires me for sure. I know we've talked to him about it. But, yeah, no, man, that was great to do the music video because that's just another piece of content that you can have. Somebody may come across that just a music video and say, oh, what is this, you know?
And so Knuckles, even though it was a guilty pleasure because it was something that me and the crew put together way back, whatever, that we used to talk about. Yeah. But it was also kind of a guilty pleasure because I kind of want to use that as like, okay, how can we do a soundtrack as well as a movie? Like, it was kind of like my little pet project to see what we can pull, like trailer. Right. We did a trailer with all the characters, kind of with their names and everything. So it's kind of like, well, this is kind of a first, not say a full movie, whatever, but it's kind of a full movie from you know, poster, soundtrack. You know, film as well, you know, the whatever. So, how do you think? I guess when for doing producing a film, do you think that is, I guess, a key or benefit, or do you think the more you have, the better? Maybe you should just focus on the film. Or I guess, what do you think is, I guess, a strategy for something like that?
I always just focus on the film.
Always focus. Yeah, yours is focus on the film.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. I think so. And then because I know that we're gonna get a good trailer out of it,
right?
If we do this at least somewhat right, you know what I mean? So. No, I think the film is to me the most important part, and then everything else after that you can branch out. You can always do a music video. You got to recreate a scene or whatever.
Right.
There's plenty to pull from, you know.
That's true. I think even because that's one of the first times me and Urge rammed together, and that was one of my favorite songs we did with it. I was like,
yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, I like that song. I was like, oh man, actually made me and Urge write some more together. I was like, hey man, we do all right together, you know. Yeah. So,
for sure. And I love doing trailers too, so that helps.
Yeah. What do you think is the benefit for the trailer as far as if you're putting the trailer together? Why is the trailer so important to a film, especially a short film?
Because people will see it and potentially be like, okay, the cliffhanger on this is pretty good. Let me check it out at least. Let me check it out. It's a way of promo. It's like a commercial. Right. So if they don't want to watch the film, if they see that, I'm like, okay, maybe I will. Plus, I like the statements trailers make. So.
Yeah, cool. I think trailers, like I said, not only is just like a commercial type of deal, but I think the trailer is, it's a good way to build awareness on whatever. Like even when I watch movies or whatever, like a trailer might come on, I might see it, and I'm not, you know,
right.
I'm not whatever. Like I got to go watch the Barbie movie, right? My daughter's a big Barbie, whatever, so we're gonna go see the Barbie movie, whatever. But the trailer kind of made me laugh a little bit. It's like, you know, we'll have a good time.
Check it out.
Yeah, go check it out, see what it is. But I do think the trailer will kind of make me. I've seen trailers like I remember back in the day, White Man Can't Jump with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. I remember when I saw that trailer for the first time, had to see the movie,
Right,
right? I
right.
gotta go, right? Whatever. So I do think
Yeah.
you're right. Like, it makes me want to go see the movie. What was the sound like recording Knuckles?
The sound was terrible because at Urges and even here, just cars driving by. And
That's right.
so you just, I didn't even expect to use any of it. That was so. Did we use the stuff with Ed? Did we use that actual sound? I don't remember if we. I think we did because we got good sound inside the room.
Inside
yeah.
the room, and we used Ed's voice, I think, off the sound for the intro of the song.
Yeah. So outside of that, everything outside sucked.
So,
You know what I mean?
did you think of Ed's guidance on that? Because there's a part where Ed is, he's going in on, I think, Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I don't know if you saw, but he's actually talking to him like, yo, I'm going to be going in on you.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But I don't want you to take it personally.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think? Even Ed, because he kind of took like a lead role in making sure that
Yeah.
everybody, whatever. What do you think about that?
No, that's great. I'm glad he did that. Ed is magnificent, a magnificent actor.
Absolutely.
So once I saw that, because we worked with him before, obviously, I'm like, whatever, have at it.
Yeah, and he really did take like the lead. Like, he's really talking to Urge, like, hey, I'm gonna blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Such and such and such. He's talking to I'm gonna be really
Yeah.
doing whatever, but it's not personal to you, whatever. And I thought
Right.
that really
No, it's dope.
because he's really going in on the video. You see him, he's not,
No.
he's really getting whatever stuff.
No, I don't take that personal at all. Do your thing. I mean, Ed would pull me to the side and hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And
Right.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I think
Do it.
Yeah, I think the film comes out a lot better when people really care about the film. Like, for me, I don't really care about anything as long as the film comes out great, the finished project, and everybody's happy with it, whatever. So I think when everybody's invested,
Right.
like I think we were talking about Under the Underground on a previous video, there's one point where everybody's kind of hovering around and we're just bouncing, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, boom, boom. I think Knuckles, we kind of had an idea
Yeah.
of what it was already, but I just like when everybody, like I said, Dallas jumps in. No, I'm willing to get wet in the pool.
Yeah.
That
was dope.
I think Vince said, hey, I know a girl that I could bring in that
Yeah.
we can take video shoots so
Right.
it doesn't look like I'm just coming in, whatever.
Right.
It's like I'm working type of deal. Like, I think
That's
when
dope.
people jump in
Yeah.
and bring that in, I think that really
Hell
adds
yeah.
element to it.
Hell
So,
yeah.
any final thoughts and questions on Knuckles? Just the overall experience?
No, that was a fun, solid shoot. Glad we did it, and it's complete. So
Man, I gotta appreciate you for bringing Knuckles to life. Like I said, this was a whole
Yeah.
crew thing that I tell the buddies, they all know about it. But
Yeah.
You gave Knuckles a whole, like, an urban legend that we created, gave it.
Right.
So we appreciate that. So, everybody, if you guys want to check out that Knuckles film, just go ahead and check it out. We have the description down below. Just know that every download, every view of that, all the money goes back so we can create that in full, make a full movie feature out of it. I think it's a super fun film. Shout out to my guy, Michael R. Santana, for just directing and giving us vision on that. And everybody that was involved with the Knuckles process. And appreciate you guys for watching this, all right?
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
See you soon.